Let's get one thing straight. Buying a budget TV in 2025 can either feel like scoring a hidden treasure or like dragging home a Trojan horse that eats your patience, your time, and eventually your wallet. Because here's the ugly truth. Not all budget TVs are created equal. Some are diamonds in disguise, giving you crazy good performance for a fraction of the price. Others? They're basically digital paperweights with a screen attached, wrapped in shiny packaging to trick you into thinking you just got a deal. And if you don't know the difference, congratulations. You're exactly who these brands are counting on. So, today we're diving into the real list of best budget TVs of 2025. Not the list the marketing departments want you to see, but the one that saves you from wasting money and months of frustration. And if you're watching this right now, hit that like button and subscribe to Frugal Choice. Because trust me, this channel will save you way more cash than any deal at your local electronics store. First on the chopping block, Insignia F30, Fire TV Edition. On paper, this looks like a dream. 4K HDR in big bold letters, Alexa built in, and that rock bottom price that makes you feel like you've outsmarted Best Buy. But here's the catch. This thing has the lifespan of a mayfly. At first, it seems fine. Apps load, picture is okay, and you pat yourself on the back for getting a 50-inch TV for less than a weekend at Disneyland. But give it a few months. Colors start looking washed out, motion blur turns sports into watercolor paintings, and the sound quality makes you want to dig your old boombox out of the garage. Owner experience usually goes something like this. Week 1. Wow, it's actually not bad. Month 6. Why is Netflix crashing every other day? Month 12. The screen went black. Guess it's a radio now. So yeah, if you're outfitting a dorm room or a guest bedroom nobody uses, fine. But for your main TV, run. Next up, Vizio V-Series V5 2025. Ah, Vizio, the once underdog brand that used to give Samsung nightmares. But in 2025, let's just say they've lost their bite. The V-Series is supposed to be their affordable 4K lineup. And yeah, it technically is 4K. But HDR on this thing? It's like taking a picture of fireworks with a flip phone. You can technically see it, but it's not worth showing off. The biggest issue? Reliability. Vizio software has become legendary for crashing. The SmartCast platform is clunky, slow, and often feels like it was coded by interns working off YouTube tutorials. Even the remote feels cheap, like it was ordered in bulk off Wish. And don't even get me started on updates. Half the time, when Vizio pushes a firmware update, it breaks more things than it fixes. Imagine buying a TV where you hold your breath every time you turn it on, wondering if tonight it'll work or just freeze on the home screen. That's the V-Series experience. If you find one on sale for dirt cheap, maybe it's worth it for a kid's room. But if you want a main screen for gaming, movies, or actual entertainment, forget it. And here's a surprise letdown. Samsung CU7000 Crystal UHD. Now before you freak out, no, not every Samsung is bad, but their budget Crystal UHD series? That's where the cost-cutting hits you in the face. On the showroom floor, it looks fine. Bright colors, slick Samsung badge. But bring it home, and reality sets in. Blacks look gray, the refresh rate is a joke, and motion blur makes fast scenes look like you're watching through a wet windshield. And here's the kicker. The CU7000 is still more expensive than better TVs from TCL or Hisense. You're literally paying extra for the logo, not the performance. This is the TV that whispers, "See, you bought Samsung?" while secretly laughing at you behind the scenes. So we already trashed the duds, the Insignias, the budget Samsungs, and Vizio's sad excuse for progress. Now let's talk about the real players. The TVs that make you stop and think, wait, why am I paying $1,500 for an LG when this thing gives me 80% of the performance for half the price? Because here's the secret nobody at Best Buy wants you to know. The budget TV space is where innovation sneaks in. It's where the hungry underdog brands live, the ones trying to steal your loyalty from the giants. TCL QM8 Mini LED, the budget kingpin. If there's one brand that went from cheap junk to actually dangerous to Samsung, it's TCL. The QM8 is proof. Mini LED backlighting, bright enough to light up your entire living room like a small stadium, and contrast that makes you forget you're not watching OLED. Seriously, HDR movies look ridiculous on this thing. And here's the kicker. Gamers love it. HDMI 2.1 ports, 120Hz refresh, VRR, all baked in. You can plug in your PS5 or Xbox and get features Samsung makes you pay double for. The only downside? Software. Google TV runs fine most of the time, but if you're impatient, sometimes it feels like you're waiting for Windows 95 to boot up. Still, for under $1,000 on sale, this is the best bang for buck TV in 2025. Period. Hisense U8N. The Dark Horse Destroyer. Think of Hisense as TCL's scrappy cousin who shows up to the fight swinging harder than anyone expects. The U8N is a legit beast in the budget space. Mini LED, check brightness that rivals TVs twice the price? Double check. Dolby Vision, IMAX enhanced, and a picture so sharp, you'll start noticing wrinkles on actors you didn't even know existed. And unlike Samsung's budget Crystal UHD disaster, the Hisense U8N actually feels premium. Solid build, slick remote, and surprisingly reliable software. The catch? Their lower-tier models, like the U6 series, are not in the same league. So if you're buying Hisense, aim for the U8. Don't cheap out. Because the wrong Hisense can feel like playing tech roulette, and nobody wins at that game. Amazon Fire TV Omni QLED, the wild card. Now this one's tricky. On paper, Amazon's Fire TV Omni QLED sounds like a slam dunk. Affordable price, Alexa integration, Dolby Vision IQ, and a QLED panel that actually looks decent. But here's the thing. Amazon made this TV for one reason, to keep you trapped in their ecosystem. Every menu, every suggestion, every recommended app, all pushing Prime Video and Amazon content down your throat. Performance-wise, it's good, not great. HDR is fine, brightness is okay, motion handling is average. But if you're the kind of person who already lives in the Amazon universe, Alexa Smart Home, Ring doorbells, Prime subscription, then the Fire TV fits in like a glove. If not, it feels like your TV turned into a giant billboard for Jeff Bezos' empire. LG UHD 9000, the budget big brand option. LG isn't just about OLED flexing. They've got budget models too, like the UR9000 series. And honestly, for the price, it's decent. WebOS is smooth, picture quality is solid for casual watching, and it has better reliability than Insignia or Vizio. But don't be fooled. This is not a gaming TV. Input lag is fine for Netflix binges, not so fine if you're sweating in Warzone. Think of the UR9000 as the safe but boring option. You're paying a bit extra for that LG logo, and while it won't blow your mind, it also won't crash and burn like some of the other budget contenders. We've gone through the heavy hitters. TCL, Hisense, LG's budget lineup, even Amazon's sneaky Fire TV. But here's where things get really interesting. The brands you don't see on billboards, the underdogs, the comeback kids, and the ones you didn't even know were still alive. Skyworth, the sleeper pick. Here's the thing. Most people in the US have never even heard of Skyworth, but overseas, they've been quietly pumping out OLED and mini LED sets that make you go, wait, why does this look so good for half the price? Skyworth's 2025 OLEDs come with Google TV, solid Dolby Vision support, and here's the crazy part, they cost a few $100 less than Samsung or LG. Picture quality? Impressive. Blacks are deep, colors are accurate, and HDR pops. The trade-off? Processing. Sometimes the menus feel sluggish, and fast-moving sports don't look as buttery smooth as the big brands. But for the money, this is a sleeper that could seriously undercut the majors. If you want to flex with an OLED without selling a kidney, Skyworth is your ticket. Sansui, the simple choice. Remember Sansui? Most people don't. They used to be a big name, then faded into, oh yeah, that brand still exists? Territory. But here's the deal. Their new 4K models with Roku or Android TV built in are shockingly good for the price. Dolby Vision support. Simple setup, no nonsense. These aren't meant to be your living room centerpiece, but for a spare bedroom, rental property, or kids' playroom, perfect. They don't overpromise, they just work. And sometimes, in budget land, that's all you really need. Panasonic, the cinematic comeback. Panasonic was gone from the US market for a decade. Now they're back, and instead of trying to win Walmart shelves, they're going straight for the cinephiles. Their Z95A OLED? Stunning. Filmmaker-grade accuracy, HDR performance that makes other TVs look like they've been through a car wash. And now, in 2025, the Z95B is here, delivering even more brightness and upgraded processing that raise the bar again. If you're shopping this year, it's one of the models worth paying close attention to. The problem? Good luck finding one. Buying a Panasonic OLED in the US is like trying to score a rare sneaker drop. If you do find one, congrats, you just unlocked cheat mode for movie nights. Sharp, the 90s legend trying again. Sharp was once the king of big screens. Then they vanished. Now they're dipping their toes back in with mini LED sets overseas. And if they bring their best models stateside, watch out. Right now, it's like seeing your favorite 90s band on a reunion tour. If they hit the right notes, the nostalgia could turn into a real comeback. If not, it's just another remember when? The final verdict, the best budget TV in 2025. So, who takes the crown? If you want the absolute safest bet, TCL QM8. It's the budget king that doesn't feel budget. If you want the best deal under $1,000, Hisense U8N. Bright, powerful, shockingly premium. If you want an underdog OLED surprise, Skyworth. Cheaper than LG, still jaw-dropping. And if you just need a cheap spare room warrior, Sansui gets the job done. But here's the truth. In 2025, budget TV doesn't mean garbage anymore. It means you can get cinematic quality, gaming features, and smart software without blowing a hole in your wallet. The trick is knowing which logos to trust, and which ones are just zombies wearing old brand names. Because when it comes to budget TVs, you're not just buying a screen. You're buying every late-night binge, every Sunday football game, every family movie night. So choose wisely. Your living room deserves better than a dud. Because here's the truth. A budget TV should still give you bright colors, sharp contrast, and last more than just a couple of seasons. If it can't do that, it doesn't matter how cheap it was. It's a bad deal. So if you found this breakdown helpful, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join us here on Frugal Choice, where we cut through the marketing noise and show you what's actually worth your money.